When you manage procurement for multiple facilities, every order matters. But when it's for a hospital system, they matter even more. Grainger gets it and knows there's no time for managing multiple suppliers and no room for shipping delays. That's why Grainger offers millions of products in fast, dependable delivery, so you can keep your facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
If you work in university maintenance, Grainger considers you an MVP because your playbook ensures your arena is always ready for tip-off. And Grainger is your trusted partner, offering the products you need all in one place, from HVAC and plumbing supplies to lighting and more, and all delivered with plenty of time left on the clock, so your team always gets the win. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, visit Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening. Thank you for downloading. And thank you for subscribing to the latest edition of the 12 Kyle podcast. I am 12 Kyle. Check this out. On this episode, we are going back. We're taking it back to May 31st, 1988. On that day, the hip-hop group Boogie Down Productions would release their second studio album entitled By All Means Necessary. And we're going to talk about it. We're going to go back to 1988. We're going to break it down. We're going to review the tracks. And we're going to talk about our thoughts on this album. And you see who's here, so he needs no introduction. My man Eclectik is back in the crib. E, what up, man?
What's up, everybody? How you doing, Mr. 12 Cal?
Man, I'm good, man. How about you?
I am doing great. It's time to talk hip hop. One of my favorite groups. One of the greatest MCs of all time. So I'm feeling pretty good about this.
Man, this same here, man. This album, wow, turning 35 years old. It's really mind-boggling when you think about it, because I don't really necessarily view this album as being 35 years old. I don't even know how old KRS One was at the time that this album came out. But I do remember what it was like and who was out around this time, man. So we have quite a few listeners who may or may not have been around in 1988. Enlighten them, E, about what it was or what hip hop looked like at this particular time in 1988 when this album came out.
Hip hop was at its peak. It was fun. It was varied. It was different. You could be yourself, get your shit off, start any kind of wave you wanted. You didn't have to fit in a certain category. You didn't have to fit a certain mode. You didn't have to sound like a certain person. You didn't have to have a certain kind of beats. This was the most experimental and free that hip hop has ever been. And this is probably why we dub it the greatest year of hip hop. You had just straight lyrics, like from Rakim on Follow the Leader. Then you had lyrics for dark skinned people with Big Daddy Kane. You had your conscious It Takes a Nation of Millions, and the album we're going to talk about now. You had fun with Bismarcky and Going Off. You had fun with Kid and Play and Too Hype, two different kind of funs. Then you had your radio singles. It Takes Two came out, and you had Straight Outta Compton came out. Eazy-E, Act a Fool. 12 Kyle's favorite album, Doing Damage by the JVC Force. It was a lot of stuff going on.
How dare you?
In '88, Grammy nominated Supersonic by JJ Fad. You could do just about anything in '88, and nothing was whack. You would listen to him like you could say, "Listen, I don't really like this. It's not for me." But if someone played it, you'd be like, I'll listen to it. But so much fun. 1988.
Yeah, man. You summed it up, and I mean, like, even some of those albums that you mentioned that came out in '88. We're going to review some of them. We've already reviewed. Another fun album that we reviewed was "He's the DJ, I'm the Rapper" from DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince. '88 was just different. It was a very, very special year, and I mean, like, we're only talking hip hop, so like there are some R&B smokers that we're going to touch this year as well. So I mean, like, it goes without saying that this was a very special year in music, period. But this album right here, man, the second effort from Boogie Down Productions, By All Means Necessary, released May 31st, 1988. Before we even get into this album, Eclectic, as I mentioned at the top, this was not their first album. This was their second album. This album is following up their debut smash album, Criminal Minded. So, as a fan, and I happen to know a little bit about you, that Criminal Minded is your favorite album of all time, hip hop album of all time, right? Mm-hmm. So, in your mind, if you can go back 35 years, did you think that they were even capable of either duplicating what they had done on the first album or even exceeding it with the second album?
I guess the thing is, back in the 80s, mm-hmm. we didn't think like that.
Exactly.
we didn't think, oh, what are they going to come with? What's the next thing's going to be? And or, oh, that wasn't as dope as the other one. So no, we were happy to have new music from people mm-hmm. that we listened to, and then we listened to it and we either like it or didn't, and that was it. But there was no expectations. I mean, I'm pretty sure that the record labels had pressure on people, but we as fans, and Criminal Minds is my favorite album. This is back when you didn't even know when stuff came out. Oh. So I found out that somebody had this was out on the school bus.
There was no rollout for you.
Nah, and somebody had, and I'm like, snatch, threw it in my Walkman on the way to school, and mm-hmm. I know I legitimately just took it from the dude, and
wow.
And listened
you ain't
to
even
it.
Ask him.
No, and
give me your shit.
He shouldn't have showed it to me, but I listened to it on the Walkman. I don't even remember what I was listening. I think I was listening to Chubb Rock, mm-hmm. and I took that out and put this in, and I was amazed. It's a tight in and out 10 tracks.
Mm-hmm. Facts. Yeah, you're right. Man, it's crazy because, like, you're right, and I asked you that question just because I knew you were going to answer it that way. Nobody in 1988, nobody who was a fan of BDPs cared about whether or not they would be hit with the sophomore slump or if they couldn't, duplicate. Because here's the thing, we didn't know. I don't know, without looking it up, I couldn't tell you how many records Criminal Minded sold. What I can tell you is that all of my friends had that tape and I had it myself. So, but much like you, I don't know when I know that I bought this tape, but I'm sure I didn't buy it the first week that it came out. In fact, my first time hearing a song off the album was the first song on the album, and I saw the video. So that was my first introduction to it. I don't know that I heard it, because I'm gonna let you know a little secret. This album didn't get any radio play either. But I was such a fan of Boogie Down Productions, such a huge fan of KRS-One's. Looking back on it, no, there were no expectations, because we didn't think like that. Like he said, like I was happy to know that a new album was out. But, if it had been 2023, yeah, somebody would be like, oh, I don't know if they can if they can duplicate their success like they had on the first album, but we didn't think, we were just happy to, anytime we got hip hop and it was dope, we were happy to have it. So we didn't think or view music through those lenses. But I was so glad that I got this tape. I was so glad that I got it. It was everything. And I just remember playing it over and over and over and over again. This is one for me, I think in 1980, it wasn't the first, but it was one of those tapes that I just constantly played. And I never touched the buttons. So I never had to fast forward it. I never had to, rewind it. I just played it. And it just, like you said, you put it in your Walkman and you just played it. And you didn't want to be bothered. I sat in my room and I did my homework to it, so forth and so on. But yeah, this was an incredible album. Their second album. What do you think this album does? I guess. No, I don't want to say that. If you could, if you could put on your producer hat and you could jump in the studio with KRS-One, what do you think he thought going into making this album? I just want to get you to pick his brain.
I couldn't imagine. I mean, it's a heavy album coming off the death of Scott LaRock.
Right.
A lot of these songs were, they were working on and was producing, but it's a lot of stuff you want to just get out of your brain. And because if you look at the theme of this album, it's not necessarily like Criminal Minded. It tackles a lot of subjects. And but the thing, the feather in the cap of this album is the many subjects that it tackles. He does not sacrifice dopeness.
Facts.
So at no point is he talking down to you or preaching or anything. You just get it by osmosis almost. You just get it because you know what he's talking about and you either seen it or lived it. But it's the way that the beats go, the way that the sequence and the messages, this is near flawless. It's not Criminal Minded, but these first two albums, I don't know how you can. He's the Magic Johnson of hip hop, man. He's top 3 all time, man. He's top 3.
I want to let you, and it's something I talked to you about off air, but I want to let you and the listeners know. There's a series that I'll be doing probably this year and next year on the podcast called Versus, where I take 2 albums from a particular artist, and based on the criteria, because we got to have criteria, right? Based on the criteria, I make a case for one album over the other, or just examine which album was better based on that criteria. And Criminal Minded and By All Means Necessary are on that list of albums for me to do. So there will be an upcoming podcast at some point in time, probably within this calendar year, of the 2 of them going head to head. And I know that's going to be tough because some of these albums literally is like splitting hairs. But even saying that, just to piggyback off what you said, I don't know what KRS-One could have been thinking of, because as you mentioned, before this album was completed, his DJ Scott LaRock was tragically murdered. Innocent bystander trying to break up a fight, caught a stray bullet and was murdered. And he still had to go through the process of, meaning KRS-One had to go through the process of completing this album and having to do it without his guy. And so, like you said, there's some themes here, there's some thoughts here that kind of flow throughout the album, but an incredible album nonetheless. Like I said, before, and I'll say it again, this is a huge brick in the wall of 1988 as far as hip hop albums. Eclectic and I both think and stand on the fact that we think that 1988 is the greatest year in hip hop. So with that being said, let's get into the tracks, man. Track 1 begins the album with an incredible question. So you're a philosopher? Oh man, my philosophy leads off the album, man. Talk to me about my philosophy.
My philosophy, it's a different kind of song, but it still kind of goes with the theme from Criminal Minded. I think this is like a bridge song. It's bridging the listener from how Criminal Minded was going to where BDP is going. And this introduces us to the teacher. See, the teacher wasn't really on Criminal Minded, he was a poet.
Facts.
But this really introduces us to the teacher and what he's about. He lets us know that he's just the guy to lead a crew, right up to your face to dish you, you know. And he does mention Criminal Minded in the album cover, and this is lecture number 2, my philosophy. Number 1 was poetry. So this is a bridge. He lets us know that what's going to be coming up on this album and subsequent albums. He just creates, and innovates on a higher level. That's all he does. Karis One is incredible. And this song is a lot of people's favorite BDP songs.
It is. It's mine.
Also, the way that they did the beginning on the video really was something no one's ever done before.
Yes, never, ever.
It was great,
and it was done in black and white.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I think you hit the nail on the head. I mean, like, and I never really thought about it until you said that. But this is the perfect bridge from the beginning, the end of Criminal Minded album, to the start of By All Means Necessary. This song is incredible. It's my favorite BDP song. It still moves me, and Eclectic will tell you, and what I'm about to say is true. You can go anywhere in the world, and if there's another hip hop head that knows, if you just say, "So you're a philosopher," they will finish the rest. I don't care. You could be in Hong Kong. If you see somebody that knows and you ask them if they're a philosopher, they will finish the rest of what needs to be said. But yeah, I'm with you, man. I as much as I love Criminal Minded, I love the way this album starts off. I guess it's not too early to talk about sequencing, but for me, I think this album is damn near flawless in the way that it's sequenced. Because this album was needed to come out when it came out and sounded the way that it sounded. And if you haven't, like he said, if you haven't seen the video, make sure that you check that out. The video is still dope to this day. Then we get to track 2, You're Slipping. What do you think about that one?
You're Slipping was dope. He answered your question in this song. He was 22. So Total Domination on Stage. Chris is the name. 22 is the age. But this was just an announcement, for people. Like, listen, we here, but don't get it fucked up. And he makes sure that people know that not to slip and not to get them fucked up. Even on the previous song, how many MCs must get this?
How many?
Like before somebody says, "Look, don't fuck with that dude." How many times do I have to? And this it put you on the chart at 10, you're fucked. At 9, you suck. At 8, you're a sucker. At 7, a
motherfucker.
Man. Nah, man. This right here, you know, my message is simple. You're slipping.
Yeah, man. I'll be honest. The first 2 or 3 times I heard it, the guitars threw me off. Because that's what
that's just like the AC/DC that was on Criminal Minded on Dope Beat.
On Dope Beat, yep.
ENOSRK. When you go through other albums, you're sure to say, God damn, they all seem to sound alike until you hear the crew standing over in the light.
Yeah, man. So it took me a couple of listens to get past the guitars, but once I got it, I got it. Like it sounded fine. And this quickly became not a favorite, but one of my favorites. You slip and it goes so hard. Speaking of hard, track 3. Stop the Violence. Man, what you got on track 3?
This was different because so we used to the chanting and stuff already, and so the 1, 2, 3, the crew is called BDP. That was just in line with the bridge is over. The bridge is over. So, this joint, this is one of those you would listen to and rhyme along with, but then when you end up rhyming, well, this is what happened with me. I would rhyme it when I wasn't listening to it and really thought about the words I was saying. I was like, yo, you could talk about Nigeria. People used to laugh at you. Now I take a look. I see USA for Africa. I was like, damn, nah, you're right. I'm like, no. Rewrite the Constitution, the Emancipation Proclamation. We fight inflation, yet the president's still on vacation.
Still on vacation. I mean, a lot of this stuff applies to this day, man.
Hey, this was my joint, and then the Stop the Violence movement came.
Yes.
And I'm like,
which
damn,
doesn't get talked about enough.
If he would have had that song on this album, this would have been out of there.
Yeah, it would have been criminal, literally. No, I'm with you, man. This again, it goes back to what you mentioned a little earlier. There's a message here. There's a beat here that's you bop in your head, so he has your full attention. And then there's a message here, but he does not come off as being preachy at all. And again, context comes with it because we know that he lost his mans, before this album comes out. And, you see, if you just saw the title, Stop the Violence, you may want to skip that song. But once you sat down and listened to it, man, listen, one of the best songs on the album. I love it. And it's still a banger to this day. And then, like you said, the chant, I mean, 1, 2, 3, the crew is called beat. Come on, man. And what's funny is that you can go places and maybe play this record, and when you play it and then people hear the chant, if people aren't familiar with the chant, they will be like, oh, is that where this came from? Like, because you've heard it so many times in hip hop, in different songs. And no, this is where it originated, right here on this song, Stop the Violence.
They hit you with the YO.
Yes. Then we get to track 4, Illegal Business, Controls America. Oh man, what did you think about Illegal Business?
This is my shit. This is my shit because they scratched in what can we get for 63 cents? That, and if anyone doesn't know, do you know where it came from?
Fat Albert.
Yeah, it came from Fat Albert. Yeah. Those fuckers was in the stores like, yo, what can we, no, that's my shit. But
what can you give for 63 cents? Nothing.
We started saying that all the time. Man. It's like, let's go get some. Yeah, what can we get for 63 cents? I'm a sucker for a story, so he got the story. He basically telling the story of Snowfall,
pretty much. Pretty much.
But yeah, this shit is crazy. What can we get for cocaine, Sensi? Oh man, I love this song.
Same here, man. Same here. And this song right here was an eye opener for me because growing up in Florence, South Carolina, I didn't know much about drugs or the drug. I'm not gonna take it. Let me take that back. I knew about drugs. I didn't know much about the drug trade, and he's giving it to us right here. And this is when and you talk about this a lot on the podcast. There were songs in hip hop that taught us stuff. I don't know necessarily, and I'm not going to get into, the obvious, but hip hop isn't really teaching the way that it once did back in 1988. And I know things are different now, and you got to stream songs, and the record label wants this and this and that. But
I'm sure the record labels wanted some shit back then too.
Yeah, but it's just like this is something that, again, I'm sitting in my house, far away from New York City, far away from Los Angeles, California, far away from Miami, Florida, and I don't know anything about the drug trade. And this man gives me a tutorial on how things are, and it was an eye opener. And again, he's giving me an education. I'm listening, and it's not coming off as preachy. I think that's dope to me. Yeah, so I mean, I love this joint. Then we get to track 5, Nervous.
That's my shit.
Talk to me about Nervous.
It's a different type of vibe. He's just talking. There's no he's not barring anybody up. He's not rapping, and he's just putting everybody on alert, showing everybody how to get down. Put your nights in the air. If you don't have your nights, put your feet down. He's like, but yeah, he was telling everybody about the crew and that they making music and all them suckers is making whack shit. They about to get nervous.
Yep.
The record label, the shit that they about to talk about, they about to get nervous. Because nobody should be talking about fucking illegal business. So now go ahead, get nervous. Government, get nervous. And if you really paid attention, and most people didn't, and I can't blame them. The first album, Criminal Minded, you had the bridges over and stuff, and the whole Juice Crew thing, and they were going back and forth.
Right.
On this song, it was like, I'm not to give a shout out to who? Big Daddy Kane. But if you don't really pay attention, if you're paying attention, well, wait a minute, you can't shout out him. He's in the Juice Crew, but they was friends.
Right.
But yeah, he shouted out Big Daddy Kane, Heavy D, was it Eric B, D Square? Yeah. So that's But if you were paying attention, hold on, Big Daddy Kane. But yeah, those songs.
I miss those days when you shouted people out in the song.
Yeah.
Well, nobody does that now. I mean, it is when music of today is just different. Let me just put it like that and keep it moving.
Me and my crew, we made hit records all over the place, but we left B-Boy Records. And you know what happened after that point? They got
nervous.
And then as soon as that fucking last Nervous hit, boom, 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 boom.
Yep, track number 6. I'm still number one. Man, listen, this is probably, well, I'm not gonna say probably, this is my second favorite song on this album. Borderline top 50-ish, maybe top 100 song in hip hop, depending on where you want to place it. But a banger, a 1988 smoker, man. What do you think about him still number one?
Well, speaking of missing when you would shout people out.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, everybody got shouted out on that.
Yes.
And I knew the whole DJ Doc, he's down with us. D Square. Oh man, because I remember when it came out, he was like, RoboCop, boy, he's down with us. And that the movie, it just came out. Wait a minute, they down with RoboCop? Well, he had a boy named RoboCop, but we didn't know. We was like, shit, he down with RoboCop.
Right.
Yeah. So this song was like put everybody on notice.
Mm-hmm.
This was telling everybody I'm the GOAT before LL made GOAT. Like, look, y'all can go ahead and do all you. I'm still number one. You made that cool. All right, but he did something very, very, very important, which goes into that Billboard list that he just did.
Exactly.
Because no one's from the old school. Because people saying people's like Curtis Blow was old school then, even though Curtis Blow was still making records. But he was like, rap isn't even 20 years old, and we're saying this on this album that's 35 years old now.
Right.
So rap wasn't even 20 years old, but he said 50 years down the line, you can start this because we will be the old school artists. And he said, and even in that time, I'll say a rhyme, a brand new style, ruthless and wild, running around, spending money, having fun. Because even then, I'm still number one. And I'd be damned if he didn't drop a new album last year with a brand new style.
Yeah, he did. He did. And apparently Rolling Stone didn't hear it.
I'll be damned if he didn't. 35 years or 34 years later, drop a brand new album with a brand new style. That was dope. Yeah.
I mean, KRS-One is got to be pushing near 60 years old. And he still got it. And he was, almost spoke like a prophet on that in that bar that you just mentioned. And that's where we are.
The album is 35 years old. He was 22 today, 57.
Yeah, there it is. So he's coming up on 60. And he still got it. And again, like you said, this was last year. It wasn't like he dropped the new album 10 years ago or 5 years ago.
No, this was months ago.
Man, I love this song, man. This song, and that, like you said, that bar in particular, we didn't know it at the time, but he was speaking it into existence because honestly, guys, in 1988, we weren't thinking about hip hop turning 50, and this calendar year, hip hop turns 50. So, I mean, for us to be in this position and for hip hop to be in this position, I think is dope. But what's even doper is having albums like this with timeless bars like this to where you can go back and reminisce and it sounds just as dope or maybe even doper than it did in 1988. And that's a credit to, Chris Parker, the MC. But yeah, I love this song. I absolutely love this song. Then we get the next track, track 7, Part-Time Suckers. What you got on this one?
So I was right and I was wrong about this song.
Okay.
So
how are you wrong? How are you wrong?
Well, because when I first saw that this was called that, I was assuming he was going to sample Stevie Wonder's Part-Time Lover.
Okay.
But he didn't. So I was wrong. However, the hook is in if you know enough, the hook is in the same melody as Part-Time Lover. So it's dope as fuck.
Yeah. Technically you were right.
The technical question about the guy who first was, then he lies what he is to man.
Yeah, technically you were right.
But no, I love this song. People still taking rapping for a joke, a passing hope, or a phase with a rope. Because this a lot of times back in the day, people thought that hip hop was a fad.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
And,
like, I remember I remember distinctly when people would say, "Oh, it's gonna be like breakdancing. It's gonna be around for a couple of years. It's gonna be like disco." Like, so, and I've mentioned on podcasts before, and you've talked about it too. Like, there was a point in time in rap where we literally would go to school and come home from school and hope that rap was still there. Like somebody didn't take rap away and kidnap rap and put rap in the car and take it away. I mean, like, because we had no assurance that it was going to be around any longer than what we knew. So again, going back to your point about the albums, we were just happy to get dope albums. It just so happened in 1988. I don't know what was in the water. I don't know whether or not it was pressure. It was just everybody just said, "Hey, let's put our dopest shit out on the street," and they did.
But this particular song,
Mhm.
this is when the teacher just really got busy, because the way that this song goes, for people who don't know this song, it would say a word and he would give the next definition of the word and keep going. Meanwhile, staying on track with the beat on the flow, kill, meaning to deprive of life, fiance, future wife, poet, a person who writes poems, wandering, meaning to roam. It's just what's that? Pepsi, the choice of a new generation. Fired from work, termination. Quality, something special about an object or person. Can you rock a party while rehearsing? I can, anytime, on the spot, rhyme. Many recording artists can't do it, but I'm more than just a recording artist kicking dust. I'm a sandstorm taking human form. K plus RS equals one. I don't burn anymore. I just cook till you're done.
Man, listen. Nobody could tell. I mean, like, nobody was doing that. That's just how dope this dude was. That's just how dope he was. And it still sounds good to this day. Track number 8. The J, the I, the M, the Y. Jimmy. Talk to the people about Jimmy, man.
Well, I said this album had a little bit of some of everything. The whole song was about your dick. just make sure. But again, I have a episode on my podcast, Encyclopedia Hip Hop, when hip hop cared. And I talk about all the times they tried to teach, and when the MCs they cared. This is wrap it up, safe sex.
Wrap it up. Yeah.
But he does it in a dope hip hop way. So take care, Jimmy, because you know what's now in winter, AIDS attacks. So run out and get your Jimmy hats. It costs so little for a pack of 3. They're Jimmy hats for the winter attack. I mean, this what do you say? I don't want to hear that you're not with it. Turn around and see your butt in a clinic. Jimmy hats are now in style because you can't trust
the big butt and a smile.
Before Poison came out, ladies and gentlemen. Understand where they got that from. Understand where they got that from. Because you can't trust a big butt and a smile. That's KRS-One.
In 1988.
Yeah. Just everybody, please understand.
Yeah, you got to. Yeah, man. I mean, I always liked the fact that, talking about your dick, referring to it as Jimmy. Shout out to the JBs and Jim Browski.
And the girls got Jenny's.
That's right. So that was a clever, and here's the thing, folks, that's a clever way of talking about sex without necessarily talking about sex, and you could say it cleanly and not that they were trying to get on the radio, but you could get something like that, you could get on the radio and not have to worry about that.
You can walk past your parents, man, I gotta go get some Jimmy hats. They're like, oh,
right. And so yeah, man, I love that joint to this day. It still bangs to me, and it still makes me laugh and chuckle. Track 9, Teacher. Woo, man, listen, this another smoker, man. Talked about Teacher.
This song was underrated by me. When this album first came out, I was like, this is okay. Like this was an okay song. And then, like, I don't know, it took me about a week. And then I was like, this song is incredible. This is one of the greatest songs ever. Well, I want you to put your hands up if you don't have AIDS. But what was my shit? It's kind of primitive, so please don't miss the way I do this on the microphone, because I was never shown. My mother wasn't in the b-boying at the home. Hey, man, I'm sorry, man. But
yeah, man, that joint.
What's for other shit? Hold on. You always call your females by the name, not hey, because hey will only make a real woman turn away. Go on. Unless the woman is the freak of the year. And do you know the KRS don't care? Unless the woman is the freak of the year. And do you know the KRS don't care? They always call a freak by the garment they wear. Instead of calling it clothes, they always calling it gear. Big derriere to make the next man stare. Attracted to the man with jerry curls in them hair. Always puffing Chiba with the 40 your beard. Hey, man, I love that song.
Yeah, man. I mean, I don't know anybody else that could have pulled. I mean, because it's, you know, he's going into his heritage at this point. I don't know anybody else that could have pulled that off. I mean, you've got what?
Shinehead, maybe. That's about it.
You've got 8 just banging tracks, and then he flips up his whole steez into this patois of rhymes. And like, that's incredible, man. I mean, and it still sounds dope and still sounds fresh to this day. Yeah, I love that joint. I didn't have, I know a couple of people that didn't like it at first, but I loved it. Probably from the first time that I heard it. Then the album closes with track 10, Necessary. He gives you a little spoken word on here. What do you think about this one?
I thought this was magnificent. I used to say this whole thing like, when I was like washing dishes or washing clothes. This was one of my favorite things because also never done before. It wasn't just
ever
turn up no music. I mean, a little faint shit in the background, but I'm not rapping. I'm giving, like you said, the spoken word. And he made so much sense. Even before the rock and roll era, violence played a big part in music. It's all according to your meaning of violence and how or in which way you use it. Oh no, it's not violent to show in movies the destruction of a human body, but yes, indeed, it's very violent to protect yourself at a party. And oh no, it's not violent when under the Christmas tree there's a lookalike gun. But yes, of course, it's violent to have an album like KRS-One. Yo,
man, listen.
That man said, what I call violence, I can't do, but your kind of violence is stopping me.
That's the thing. Like, I mean, like he does not, nobody else would have done this.
Nah.
Nobody else. And I mean, this is track 10 on their second album following, you know, the debut Smash album. And man, to finish this album like this, And he made so much sense. And again, going back to the theme that we mentioned earlier, he's talking to us, but he's not preaching.
And he's legitimately talking to us.
That's it. That's it. Legitimately, I'm going to tell you what it is. I'm going to tell you how I feel. I'm going to tell you what I think. And there's nothing you can do but listen. And we hung on every word. Go ahead.
And all of it is still relevant. I mean, by all means necessary, the rap audience must grow up. The same type of fighting we do, they do, except we've got nothing to blow up. He gives us, if all I do is play the game, then I'm just mediocre. We strive to be the best we can be, not to just get over. And he shouts out Big Daddy Kane again. But what was the other shit he said? Yeah, I'm making some money. He's making some money. But none of these things are necessities. What I find to be a necessity is controlling a positive destiny. And he ends it. Whether peace by war or peace by peace, the reality of peace is scary. But we must get there one way or another, by all means necessary. Man.
Boy,
they should literally teach that in school.
Yeah.
Like we had to do the Pledge of Allegiance. they should have people recite that.
Yeah, this should be like, I know that they're building a hip hop Hall of Fame. This should be like what you should hear. They should play this like on a loop as you're walking throughout the building.
And it should be on a big plaque in the front.
No question.
Like it's the Constitution.
Question. Yeah. I mean, because it's like you see, and I mean, well, we didn't see, but we heard that he lost Scott LaRock. And I mean, like, so this album, like you said, it gives you a little bit of everything. It gives you, bars, it gives you his feelings, his emotion. You get a message in there, stop the violence. And the one thing I almost forgot that to even talk about that is very quite obvious was the album cover.
Oh,
yeah. What did you think the first time, or if you can remember, what did you think about the album cover when you saw it?
I mean, I didn't do the direct correlation because I mean I didn't know exactly who it was, but I knew I've seen the picture and the pose before, and so I was like, oh, he did it from that, but he's also still holding guns like he had on the fucking cover of Criminal Minded. So I was like, this is all going together. I thought it was dope. But also before you get into that, when I went to go see him at Rock the Bells, he did this the volumes as he did, and the whole crowd said every word.
Wow.
He was like, turn off the music. And he was like, but some get together and they can rap. Everybody was like, oh shit. And we said the whole day it was like a classroom.
Yeah. That's how it's supposed to be, man. That's how it's supposed to be. And I mean, like, I would hope that if anyone attended a KRS-One show that he's still doing it, and at whatever point in the show that it happens, that everybody's able to recite it. I much like you, when I saw the album cover, I don't even know if I remember seeing the picture of Malcolm X looking out of the window with the gun, because this would have come out before the Malcolm X movie. By that time, I had not read the autobiography of Malcolm X, so I knew who Malcolm X was, but I wasn't familiar with that scene of him standing, holding a gun, looking out the window. But like you said, it was on par with the album cover of the first album, Criminal Minded. So I didn't have an issue with it. I remember it wasn't a magazine. I can't remember. I remember somebody talking bad about it. It might have been on BET or something. I don't know. I can't remember. But it was no. I didn't look at it like it was anything bad. Contrary to popular belief, at this particular time in hip hop, you could have a gun on an album cover. We saw it a lot. In fact, NWA was pointing a gun at you on their album cover. But yeah, man, that wrapped up an incredible album. Um, I don't know that. I don't. Well, I'm pretty sure this album was never rated. I don't think the mics came out. But if you had to give this album under the Source's 5 mic rating, what do you think you would have given that album back then, and what do you think you'd give it now?
I think in both cases 4.5. I want to say 5, but I think back then I wouldn't have gave it 5 because just even though I like it, that funky beats behind Nervous is like, all right, man. Okay, man, really, and it's real short. So 4.5. If I could do 4 3/4, I would do 4 3/4.
Yeah, I'm stingy with 5s. This is close. I couldn't give it a 5, but I definitely could give it a 4.5. I would have given it a 4.
I'm giving Criminal Minded a 5. So this is it's right there. I think that these two albums, as far as a soloist debut and sophomore album, I don't know who's beating him.
And see, and
there's contenders.
They're contenders.
Hold on, before you finish, the only reason why I even say this is because the majority of people like this more than Criminal Minded. And so if the majority of people like this more than Criminal Minded, and I know it's not better than Criminal Minded, then these two albums are ridiculous.
Well, it might be better than Criminal Minded. We don't know. We don't. We do. Well, and see, here's the thing. And I actually, because the aforementioned verses that I was telling you about a little earlier, I'd planned to do those by myself, right? And I was like, well, you know what? I might want to reach out to E for those two albums.
I'm biased.
Clearly. So
but, I mean, this is my guy. KRS-One is my guy, and so like let me explain how much of my guy KRS-One is. In my list of rappers, he's ahead of LL. I just think LL's the GOAT. But in my personal list, he's ahead of LL. This is my guy. My favorite hip hop song of all time and my favorite hip hop album of all time is made by this guy.
Yes. I think I definitely have him over LL, which is not a bad thing. But I think listen, these first two albums, I'm going to give both of them 4.5, but it's hard to, man, it could be as simple as flipping a coin. Some days, it just depends. But like you said, you could really make a case that there are very few hip hop artists whose first two albums can compare to, if we say, okay, well, if we just have a consensus, okay, we'll give both first two albums 4.5 mics. It's very few people that can say that both of their first two albums got 4.5 mics. Very few. There's some, but not a few. And then you have to, kind of look at the criteria and everything like that. But I'm with you. I'm rolling. It's incredible. I mean, to follow up Criminal Minded with this album, beyond incredible. I love this album. This is one, I mean, I always look forward to coming back and reviewing the older albums. I knew we'd be doing this one together, and this one was fun because it really took me back to 1988 and how I felt about, hip hop and how I felt about KRS-One and BDP, and still feel good, man. I mean, like it still resonates. It's still, now there's admittedly so there's some albums from 88 that I'm not gonna say fell out of my rotation, but I don't play them as much. This is one that I still play to this day. And when I play Criminal Minded, I play this right behind it. Always. So yeah, that's gonna wrap it up, man. Wow. Again, by all means necessary, 35 years later from Boogie Down Productions. Shout out to KRS-One. Shout out to D-Nice. Shout out to the whole BDP posse. Rest in peace, Miss Melody. Before we get out of here, E-Man, tell folks where they can find you. Tell them where they can find the podcast and where they can find you on social media.
Well, just type eclectic with a K and everywhere you'll find me. But Encyclopedia Hip Hop Podcast, Encyclopedia HH on Twitter and Instagram, Eclectic Podcast, Twitter and Instagram for the EDP, Eclectic Discussion Podcast, available on most platforms. If the platform doesn't have it, let me know, or just don't use that one. And at Eclectic, at Tweet Rhymes Life, at Encyclopedia HH, at Eclectic Podcast, at One Gotta Go. Just at the fuck out of me, and I'm a hook you up with some good content. All of my podcasts, every podcast that I do, is evergreen. You can listen to it anytime, any year, any day, and it's not dated because I'm not going to do current events because current events is fucked up right now.
And they will be in the future too. Yeah, same here. You can find this podcast, the 12 Kyle Podcast, wherever you're listening to it right now. You can find it on all streaming platforms. Be sure to subscribe to the podcast. I drop a new episode every Thursday at midnight, and time to drop bonus episodes on Sundays at midnight. If you feel so inclined, hit me up on Cash App. We will take donations. $TWELVEKYLE. Again, by all means necessary, 35 years later with my man Eclectic, we are out of here. That's going to do it for us, and we'll catch you guys next time.
Hey,
5, yes sir.
Fresh
for 88. Suckers. We out of here, man. Peace.
I sold my car in Carvana last night.
Well, that's cool.
No, you don't understand. It went perfectly. Real offer, down to the penny. They're picking it up tomorrow. Nothing went wrong.
So, what's the problem?
That is the problem. Nothing in my life goes as smoothly. I'm waiting for the catch.
Maybe there's no catch.
That's exactly what a catch would want me to think.
Wow, you need to relax.
I need to knock on wood. Do we have wood? Is this table wood?
I think it's laminate.
Okay, yeah, that's good. That's close enough.
Car selling without a catch. Sell your car today on Carvana. Pickup fees may apply.
When you manage procurement for multiple facilities, every order matters. But when it's for a hospital system, they matter even more. Grainger gets it and knows there's no time for managing multiple suppliers and no room for shipping delays. That's why Grainger offers millions of products in fast, dependable delivery, so you can keep your facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.